Data from the Department of Education show that there are around 4,830 schools who are qualified to offer the senior high school program as of 2018. These institutions would not be able to implement a new system of learning without the help of their very own administrators and teachers. Before the senior high school program was launched in 2016, teachers and officials with experience from high schools and colleges were called to step in to teach senior high school. A total of 25,009 teachers were hired to teach the first batch of senior high school students in private schools, while 36,788 were hired to teach in public schools. But what were the challenges in building a senior high school program from scratch? How did educators deal with teaching completely new year levels? How did the school administration fix the problems brought by the education reform? This is Clarissa Egrubay and you're watching The Pioneers. San Beda College Alabang or SBCA was one of the schools permitted to offer senior high school in the South of Metro Manila. While they are also managed by the Benedictine monks, SBCA, the San Beda University in Manila, and San Beda University in Taytay are run by completely different administrations. In Alabang, former Human Resources Manager Luisito Padolina was tasked to lead the school's newly established senior high school department. As the pioneering principal, he was able to take part in SBCA's preparation for the education reform. During the preparation stage, Padolina said that SBCA focused on encouraging grade 10 completers from other schools to apply for their senior high school program. But enrollment went better than what they were expecting. San Beda Alabang was able to welcome over 750 senior high school pioneers.
The first challenge was really where to accommodate the big bulk of enrollees that we had during the first 2 years. Okay? So because our projection actually exceeded the actual enrollment at that time. Okay, so that is why initially when we started the preparation, we were only looking at the 10 classrooms in the annex, in the St. Scholastic Annex, the former covered court that was converted into a 2-story class school building for the 10 classrooms because we were a little bit conservative, but we didn't expect that the market would respond very positively. That is why during our first year we already got 20 sections, okay, which is more than what we could house in the Saint Scholastica complex. So that's why we were forced to borrow some classrooms from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Despite the problems, the SBCA administration had a goal, which is to make sure their senior high school department a training ground for college.
So that is why you will notice that most of our policies and programs are really similar to what is being practiced in higher education. Because precisely, we want our senior high school students to already get a feel of how it is to study in a college or in a university setup.
In order to achieve their goal of helping students prepare for tertiary education, San Beda Alabang Senior High School also got professors from other colleges and their own college department. Through DO 42S 2017, the Department of Education adopted the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers or PPST. This articulates what constitutes teacher quality in the K-12 reform across well-defined domains, strands, and indicators that provide measures of professional learning, competent practice, and effective engagement. Miss Claire Martinez taught in SBCA Senior High School during its first semester. With this new teaching stint on her plate, she had to drop out of her law school studies and pursue her master's degree as part of the needed qualifications to teach. Martinez has a bachelor's degree in secondary education major in English. However, none of the courses she took in college prepared her enough for the first subject she was assigned to teach, Practical Research 1.
Back then, when I was studying, honestly, hindi rin sa amin naturo what is qualitative research. Parang ang focus talaga during that time sa research ay quantitative. So, doon ako mas maalam. Doon yung medyo may konting knowledge naman ako kahit papano. So, nahirapan din ako to teach the practical research one kasi very unknown siya. Wala siya during my college subject. Wala siya wala siya sa curriculum namin nung college kami. Ayun. So, nalaman ko na lang yung qualitative research nung nagma-masters na ako. So, doon ako nagkaroon ng knowledge. Somehow medyo late na yon because I enrolled in my master's around August. So, parang medyo nasa middle part na ata ako na ng pagtuturo ng practical research. Ayun. So, kaya medyo challenging and struggle talaga siya sa akin during that time.
She now teaches senior high school students at the Muntinlupa Science High School, just a few kilometers away from SBCA. But she says that teaching students from public schools could be different from teaching those in private institutions.
Siguro kasi in public, some students are not that, wala silang ganong practice or enhancements of some sort of skills. Unlike sa private na somehow napapractice nila yung communication sa English or even sa writing sa English. Though may iba may pagka-informal, pero somehow nakukuha din naman siya sa turo. Sa public kasi parang may ibang students na mahabaan yung process, mahabaan yung pag-cope nila or pagkuha nila ng tinuturo mo. So, I think dun somehow nakaiba, specifically on the part of English language. Kasi normally sa public, syempre nakasanayan nila to speak in Tagalog. While commonly in private schools, for some students, nakasanayan naman nila na mag-speak in English kasi parang at a very young age din talaga yung natitrain sa kanila.
One of Martinez's former colleagues in San Beda College Alabang Senior High School is Mr. J.R. Zaragoza. Zaragoza, a computer engineer, is a former professor at AMA University and is now working full-time as a teacher at the SBCA Senior High School.
I was informed by my department chair sa IT na baka hindi naman ako mabigyan ng part-time load. Okay? Pero sinabi niya na mag-o-open ng San Beda ng senior high school. Okay? So there are two choices actually, yung sa AMA at saka sa senior high school ng San Beda. Actually lamang yung senior high school ng AMA kasi syempre 1 year na ako nagstay doon So medyo kabisado ko na din yung policy and of course the teachers around the campus. Kaya lang syempre bilang breadwinner, kailangan ko rin consider yung kung saan ako mas makakatulong sa family ko. So, inopen sa akin ng depth chair ko sa IT, sa BEDA, na yun nga, the senior high school department is hiring teachers, no? So, nirecommend niya ako na mag-apply. Kumbaga, mas madali yun sa akin makapasok daw kasi at least connected na ako kay San Beda. So, I did apply. I proceed with the normal procedure.
The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed a flaw in the K-12 program because it relied too much on private schools to offer grades 11 and 12. Aside from that, the COVID-19 pandemic also affected the way teachers teach across the country.
What the pandemic did was it actually halted the implementation that would have allowed the teachers to continue to improve their delivery. It halted the students' own system of adapting to the new curriculum and including everything that it takes from printing of textbooks to training of teachers So there were many aspects of the reform that was impossible to do. All of those were halted. But everyone had to shift to online teaching and learning. Obviously, not all schools had the capacity, had the gadgets, had the preparation to shift to that. So that's another entirely new problem beyond K to 12.
Martinez and Zaragoza also had their fair share of struggles in teaching in an online setup.
Challenging siya kasi ngayon, unlike before na may face-to-face, parang kaya mong paano ba? Parang kaya mo although kaya mo din naman mag-joke nowadays, pero kasi back in face-to-face, 2 hours ang meron kami sa isang klase. Unlike now na meron na lang kaming 1 hour. So parang you have to be very direct with the students. As well as for some activities, kailangan wala kasi sa amin, wala kasi ganong activities na parang mahabang pwedeng gawin during online kasi nga may 1 hour lang talaga. So, kailangan yung activity or activities na magawa ni teacher ay makakatulong din talaga sa mga students to connect them with the lesson. So, that's one. Unlike kasi nung back in face-to-face na makailang activities ka na ipagawa sa students, okay lang yon. Pero now, kailangan i-concise na yung pagtuturo as well as the activities na gusto mong ipagawa.
Zaragoza, an empowerment technologies teacher, said that it has always been a challenge to make his subject appropriate for the high school level. But with the shift to online learning, he also has to learn how to maintain the attention of the students.
Kasi you need really to put yourself as a teacher dun sa shoes ng estudyante. Kasi baka mamaya yung tinuturo ko, highly complicated na pala sa kanila. Na parang, okay, in the context, naturo ko yung topic, pero in their mind, hindi ko po nakagets konti yung discussion kasi ang lalim po talaga ng word na ginagamit nyo, sir. So, kumbaga, lang talaga, kumbaga, you should make sure na you target the topic pero yung dating ng discussion is nako-comprehend pa rin. Ibig sabihin, naiintindihan pa rin ng isang estudyante na nag-transition from junior high school to senior high school. So isa sa mga challenge talaga din is really to keep the attention ng mga estudyante natin. Yung kumbaga yung engagement nila sa discussion.
Even with all of these challenges and struggles, the teachers and administrators still pursue their jobs in order to better shape the next generation. Many senior high school pioneers are expected to graduate from college in 2022. In the eyes of these teachers and administrators, these students have grown together with the K-12 program.
Well, you've done a very commendable work being the pioneer batch of our senior high school, and I know many of you are doing well in your college and in your Christian university. And so it always warms my heart every time I could hear or I could read in social media about latest developments involving our former students who are now doing very well. And I want to think that we were part of that success in the same because we really tried our best to prepare you for this challenge in higher education. So good luck.
And you have to choose your own battles. You really know how to be flexible sa kung saang environment ka malalagay.
To the rest of the first batch ng senior high school, which of course we are praying na talagang beyond the challenges of the online class, you would graduate on time. Siyempre, I would like to congratulate everyone for really giving your best.
Now that we have heard from educators and administrators, it is now time to find out how effective has K-12 been in preparing the next generation of manpower, the very students, for the world outside the classroom. These questions will be answered only here in The Pioneers, keeping up with the trailblazers of K-12, one episode at a time. Make sure to subscribe to our page and like our videos for more content just like this. So stay tuned, everyone!